a little update on my indoor food garden. I started this garden back in October of 2023. I was really inspired watching Mike's Chaotic Gardening to learn how to grow food inside my house in the wintertime. And wow, has it ever been a journey? I was always an outdoor gardener, and this was my first time ever attempting to grow food in my house. I have had so much failure. I would say 99% of all my plant experiments have failed. I've had a little bit of success and I've had a lot of fun and I've tried a whole bunch of new things. So let me show you how the garden is doing right now. I'm going to flip myself around here, see if I remember how to do this. This is my very first hydroponics kit. I got this as a Black Friday special on Amazon by the company QIO. Not a sponsored video, was never a sponsored product. And this is my first time ever trying hydroponics, and I've had a lot of success, some failure, both in hydroponics and in soil in my attempt to grow food inside my house. So let's see how things are going right now. Let's start with my biggest success. Right now in the indoor food garden is actually my bell peppers. I have 2 bell peppers on this plant. This is the first time I have ever been able to grow bell peppers in my house. There's one here, and if you can see, kind of see if I can put them both in the picture. They're on the opposite side of this leaf. There's another bell pepper over here. They're on the exact same plant, so that is definitely a success in my books. I haven't had a lot of successes, so my bell peppers getting even to that stage is a big win for me. Gets me really excited. And let's check out some of the other changes you can see from here. I did a massive pruning on my cucumber plant. It got hundreds of flowers and haven't been successful getting a cucumber yet. However, once again, where are we? I'm at the stage where I actually have another cucumber. I don't think it's going to work out. I've been here so many times. Although I must say this one is bigger than all the other ones that have tried forming. So I don't know. I'm a bit crossing my fingers it's going to work out, but I have no optimism left. I've seen so many flowers and none of them have worked out. Even when they get just tiny, tiny, tiny little cucumbers, they all fall off. So clearly I have done something wrong with this cucumber growing experiment, but next time I will go only for self-fertile cucumbers, or I won't grow cucumbers because they are tricky to grow in the house. That's what I've learned. And at the back, we have some of my basil. This one has been super productive. I have done many harvests off of it. I just keep cutting the leaves and they keep on coming back. So that is exciting. This was a success. I have several basil plants and they're all doing pretty well here. And at the back, we have another bell pepper. So this is a different plant than the ones over here. So there are 3, technically speaking. If we come around this side, you can see there is another bell pepper forming there. So in this one hydroponics kit right now, I have 3 bell peppers growing, which is so exciting. And then we have some smaller basil plants here. I've been harvesting off them too. I took a huge chunk of stem off because I had taken so many leaves and there really wasn't much left. So yeah, I just cut it right back and I'm sure it'll grow back. And then down here, these are very recent additions. Now, if I can remember what they are, these are things I was intending to grow outside. I'm trying to remember. I think are they golden berries or they're not golden berries. There's something I was trying for my outdoor food garden. And I was inspired by Grandma Sandy. I think ground cherries is what they are, if I remember correctly. I've never grown goldenberries or ground cherries, and I did start these in soil. And I have most of my seedlings still in a seed starting kit in soil, and I will show you them. But these ones I decided to pop in hydroponics. I can't remember what I pulled out of here, but I pulled something out that wasn't doing well. And we're going to try them in hydroponics and just see how they do. And yeah, so that is what's happening here. We are going to transition up into my window. This is actually the window, the reason why I decided to live stream today. I haven't done it in a while, and honestly, I was getting really disheartened with my indoor food gardening. Kind of felt like a failure in many ways, so I didn't really want to show YouTube that, but I do see success still, so we're going to keep going for a little while anyways. I think some of it will stay in the house, but most of it is going to end up outside in the warmer weather. And let's take a look up here. We've got to start with the most joyful thing in the window, and that is my nasturtium flower. And oh dear, I think I need to add some water to the container, but look at the flower. It is so beautiful. Definitely the highlight of my day today, seeing this flower in the window. I was so excited. I kind of forgot about it actually. I haven't looked at this kit. This little Krakatee setup. I've been kind of neglecting my hydroponics for a while, but so cheerful, right beside my favorite rock. I just love this. Now coming into my second hydroponics kit, honestly looking a little sad, but we have another bell pepper plant, which is really looking sad. It does have a bell pepper on it, but I'm tempted to actually pull this one out because it is seeing better days. And some basil that was doing really well, but I did a massive harvest, and I think it actually, maybe I took too much off the plant because it's not really doing well now, but I'm just letting it bounce back and we'll see what happens. And then I have some more bell peppers here, not doing quite as well, these ones. They're doing, you know, they're alive, but they could be doing better. So that's their status. But we are going to go, and I'm going to show you something else that makes me very happy, and it's been happening for a while. I did show it in one live stream a while ago, but we've had some progress since then. So let's take a look. We're going to journey into my original plant room. This is some Easter stuff for a hunt coming up. And we are going to check out what excites me the most about this indoor food garden, and that is my beans. I'm attempting to grow beans inside my house for the first time ever, and check this out. If we look up in the window, let's look up a little further. Do you see it? There are flowers on my beans. Actually, I think you guys need light. It is dark in here. Let me turn the light on. Sometimes I forget about the lights. And we have more light. So if we get a little closer, you can see there's a few flowers. There's some here, and there's some, can you see that? There's more here, and there were some way up there, but they're starting to fade actually. So this ceiling in this room is approximately 12 feet tall. So they are almost at ceiling height. If you look at the tallest stem, it's at almost the top of the window frame. So I'd say they're about 11, maybe 11 and a half feet tall right now. So cool. And if you're wondering what kind of medium I'm using, I am using soil in a grow bag. That's where they're growing from. This is, I think, 4 separate seed plants that I put in here, like from seeds. And if I can find it, I will show you the package of seeds where they came from. These are runner beans. Let's look over here. Runner beans from Baker Creek. And this is Black Knight. They are a 65 to 80 day edible ornamental scarlet red runner bean. Definitely beautiful. I love this. Now, I think these are going to stay in the house. I don't know if they're going to be successful to actually grow beans in terms of pollination. I thought they were self-fertile. Could be wrong about that. Not really sure. But regardless, I think it is so cool. The coolest houseplant I have ever had. And that does make me excited, even if they don't actually produce beans. So fun. So let's take a look at my tomatoes. And this was started in my little fairy garden, which is mostly gone now. They needed more room, so I've kind of removed fairy stuff from here, gnomes. But the tomato plants are getting pretty big. Like, I don't know if we can back up. This is my hand. They're honestly ready to go outside, but I am not ready to put them outside. So they're going to stay here a bit longer. I may have to upgrade them into something else because I don't want them to stop with their vigorous growth. They are growing really well in here. I've got more over here. And we are going to check out one more flower. This is the first time I've attempted to grow marigolds in my house, and I have a flower. Check this out. My very first marigold flower is so exciting. Right here. Beautiful pop of orange in the window. And then I have a few tomatoes in little containers. They're doing fine. These are more tiny little basil seedlings, which I may transplant. There is a basil growing in Krakati hydroponics right here. I actually neglected to water this for a few days, and yesterday it was so wilted. The container was dry, and I thought it might be dead, but I gave it another chance, and it fully bounced back. So that is so exciting. Then I have this cucumber plant, which is doing okay. This is the one that has that little cucumber on it, but again, I don't know if it's actually going to work out. I showed this in another video. It's still on there. It's not brown. It hasn't drooped or anything, but who knows? I haven't had any cucumber success yet, so I don't know. I'm hoping, but I'm not optimistic that it's going to work out. And let's check the window. Just a little bit left to see here. We have these, I believe, are my ground cherries that I started growing quite a while ago, and they took forever to get to little sprouts, and now they're actually growing pretty well and pretty strong. Really nice seedlings. I only have, I think, 4 or 5 in here. But that's okay. That's plenty for me. If they survive out into the great outdoors, that would be awesome. And hopefully they do produce ground cherries. That would be so cool. We'll put these back in the window, and then we'll check out a few more things. There's more ground cherries here. These are more bell pepper seedlings, which have just started to sprout. And then this is a tomato from over here. I was doing a bit of an experiment from this empty melatonin container. No drainage in here. This is just a recycled container. I decided to put a tomato in here that was getting a little leggy to see if it would do better in the pill bottle, and it seems to be thriving in here, just living its life. No drainage in here at all, so you don't necessarily need drainage all the time. The fig cutting is just propping it up. So that is what's going on in this window. Now let's take a look at my fig cuttings. We have them in a few places. These were taken at different times, but let's see how they're doing. So this one does have some growth on it. That is good. We've got another one here. And this one, oh, yep, there is a tiny bit of growth. This is almost like a I don't know what you want to call it. If you can see it, it's like a little white root coming out the side, but not the green that you see on the first one I showed you. Now this, I believe, started in those Ziploc bags and it kind of dried up. I put it in soil, but let's see the bottom. Oh yeah, there's definitely roots on here, even though the greenery dried up. So that is interesting. And then this one here. Ooh, what's going on here? Holy doodles. This had nice growth on it, but it almost looks like it dried up. I wonder what happened. Interesting. So that one might not be viable. I am not sure about that. This here. Ooh, we have a tiny bit of growth coming out of the bottom. I'm gonna turn my grow light on, see if it will give us more light over here. This has the tiniest bit of growth coming out. The camera won't focus either, of course, of that bottom part. Not a lot, but it's possible that one might tank. Here. Yeah, I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but I can actually see a little bit of growth on this fig cutting. And at the back, these were some of my recent fig cuttings, so I don't expect too much from them. But yeah, this one I don't see anything. It doesn't mean it won't, but it's still pretty recent that I did this. So we'll give it more time. Now I'm going to show you the ugly side of my indoor food garden. I pulled these tomatoes out of my hydroponics because they weren't thriving and I basically killed them. So they do need to be pulled out, but I'll just show you some of my failures because everybody has failures and that's okay. So we are going to swing around and I have a couple of fig cuttings actually in this tomato planter and I have not even checked on them myself. Let's see how they're doing. Ooh, this one. Well, actually it did have green growth, which has dried up, of course. And I am not seeing roots developing, so this might not work out, this one. I'll give it a little longer. This one here, I also think is probably a dud. And the one over here, yeah, I think this one too. So that is interesting. Those were from those Ziploc bags, if you watched my previous live streams where I had the perlite mixed with the water in those mini greenhouse situations in the Ziploc bags, and I would say like one or two actually looks like they're gonna make it, and the rest, even though they looked awesome in those like the little greenhouse grow bags, didn't look like they were gonna make it. But I couldn't keep them in there forever with no soil or nutrition and just perlite, so it was an experiment and most of it failed, but I might have a couple that worked out, so that is good news. So that is all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching and we will see you. I have a new video at 3 p.m. today. If you're interested, we're doing a little bit of relaxation in the forest. I hope you have a lovely day and happy spring. Bye-bye.